Hello everyone, my name is Giuseppe Tomasello. I am the founder of edugo.ai. Today I would like to talk to you about digital transformation and how your school can actually digitalize the learning experience for the students. So we are approaching 2020 and we know that the future belongs to the schools that actually manage to digitalize their experience for their students. However, when a school tried to approach the digital transformation and try to build software, there are a lot of risks that are involved. The main reason is because the creation of software for a school is completely another business than the traditional teaching and learning that the schools are used to. So today I would like to explain to you what are the main risks that a school encounter when try to build software, and what are the ways to mitigate this risk in a way that you can actually build software minimizing the waste of resources. Okay, during our experience building software for learning languages, we learn a lot of lessons during the way. So at the beginning, usually, when you start building software, you have an idea in your mind about what kind of software you want to have. And basically what you do is, from this idea in your mind, you actually go and create some kind of requirements that then you give to the engineers to build the software. I've been through this process myself because I am an engineer and I start building the software myself. But at the end, I end up having a software that didn't solve any problem for the users, so the people are going to use the software. This is something that I see over and over in the schools. When the school manager have some kind of business requirements and then translate those business requirements, such as I want to increase my number of users, or I want to make more revenues. Translate those business requirements into some kind of product features, and then those product features are built by the engineers. But when you follow this approach, it's called a waterfall approach. So from the top to down, from the school manager to the user. The problem with this approach is the fact that most of the features that you're going to build are not going to be useful for the end user. And this leads schools to spend millions of RMB in resources and years of time in building the software that at the end is not delivering any value for the user. And at the end will not help you to move your metrics in the direction that you want. This is the common mistake that not only startup founders do, but also schools managers do when they try to build technology. So today, actually, one of the key points I want to communicate to you is not to follow this waterfall approach, so from top down, but to follow another approach that comes from lean startup. So the lean startup is a movement that was created starting from Silicon Valley, that basically states that whatever software that you build, to include your user in the process of building the software. So as a user-centric approach. And putting your user at the center of it will guarantee that the features that you build actually deliver real value to the end user of your product. This system is built on top of what's called iteration cycles. So the iteration cycles work in 3 steps. Is a build, measure, learn cycles. That, for example, internally in my company, we do it in a weekly basis. In the past 3 years, actually, we've been building software using those iteration cycles on a weekly basis. We've been iterating each week with our users. So the way it works is that you have some idea about the features that you want to build. Let's say you want to build an online teaching platform, so where the teacher and student can communicate. So first you build it. Second step is you measure what is actually users are doing with this platform. And the third step is you learn from what is the usage of the platform, and you go back and you build again in order to improve it. So the idea here is that you don't need to build anything really complicated. For example, you can use other kind of platforms at the beginning in order to validate the main use case. For example, you can use WeChat or Skype to do the online video classroom. You can use other tools in order to understand how this combines with the tools that you want to build, and then you do some testing. So in this way, you're going to learn from the users. You're going to learn what the things that they like and don't like. So you need to also ask questions to them. And once you learn, you actually can build a second version of your experiment. Those quick iteration cycles of a weekly basis will guarantee you that you are going to build something that the user actually will use. And you're not going to waste your resources, your money and time in features that are not useful for you and the consumer. So the first step in order to build software for your school is to have a clear objective of what you want to achieve. Usually a school set up what's called a key metric, or it's one single objective that the school needs to achieve in order to increase some kind of business objectives. Can be increase your student base. For example, you want to have more students to come to your school. Or another can be increasing my CLTV, or customer lifetime value, which means from the moment the students sign up for my school and for my service, what is going to be the average amount of money that he's going to spend for the rest of his life in using my service. Or it can be, I want to increase my student satisfaction and the amount of word of mouth that it generates. So if I increase the experience of my student in my school, then he will tell to his friends, and then basically I can grow organically my user base. Those are all objectives that a school can set up. The problem with the current system is that it's really difficult to measure what kind of efforts that are moving those objectives up, because your schools doesn't have a really aggregate way to collect data. I'll give you an example. Let's say I am the manager of a Mandarin school in Shanghai, and I want to increase the number of students that goes to my school. So I have a nice website, a static page with information, and so about my school program and the price. So what I do is I run some Google ads for some specific keywords. It can be study Mandarin in Shanghai or learning Mandarin in Shanghai. The problem is that the keywords that I'm bidding are really expensive, because all the other schools are exactly doing the same thing. So I will end up paying a lot of money for clicks to my website, and I don't even know what will be the conversion to paying customers. So who are those people who actually clicks to my website, and then what is the customer lifetime value of those people? All those data is all over the places, but is not aggregated. And so you don't have a place where you collect all those data, and actually you can analyze what is the channel that is giving you the best ROI. So in order to create a software where it can actually have iterative approach to the development of it. So you always try to involve your users in the decisions of the new requirements, in order to have a way to measure if actually the new features that you actually build are giving you a good return on the investment that you're making to build those features. You need to have an integrated solution where you basically have one software where you actually are pulling users from outside, right? You're getting users from different channels, can be marketing channels, and then you are actually measuring all the things that they're doing inside your product, and understands what are the points that are actually making the user stay more or purchase more, or whatever key metrics that you are setting up for your school. In this way, and only in this way, you can actually go and improve your product, and you're going to become competitive into the market. So the idea is not that you have a product requirement in your head and you build it, but the idea is that you have this software that is continuously evolving and is changing according to the data that you are collecting. This is an integrated solution that can actually help your school to achieve the business objective that you set up.